Hey, good morning, coloring friends. Anne Manera, and today we are back again for a live color along. So we are coloring today another page from Color Along Volume 13. We're back on track with our typical Monday morning color alongs. Great way to start the week, great way to start the day. And today we are coloring a page in the texture technique. So we're going to create texture behind our coloring page. I'm going to use some masking tape. I've got this piece of cardboard. We're going to create some sort of little template to put behind the page we're coloring today. What else are we doing today? I'm using Prismacolor watercolor pencils, but I'm not using water, so we're all dry today. But this is a really cool set of Prismacolor watercolor pencils that I have. Nice blend of pastel pencils. I thought it would kind of bring a spring feel to this freezing weather today, where, of course, they're saying snow. Alice is reading my mind right now. They're saying snow. We can get snow Thursday right here in New York, now Alice's neck of the woods. Same thing here on Thursday night and Friday. They're saying there's plowable snow. So I do not like that word. I don't like that whole thing. I'm not prepared for this. I'm not interested in it anymore because we are weather complainers, right? Okay. So we've got these watercolor pencils. The other thing that I have to talk to you all about this morning is my new book, Mushroom Mania, and I'm so excited about this book. I have a flip through for you this morning of Mushroom Mania from my printed pages. My copy of my book is on its way. It should be here tomorrow. There will be a kind of a book launch / live color along for Mushroom Mania in the next couple of weeks, and I'm in the midst of organizing all of that. Need to get in touch with a couple of different people so that we can do kind of a cool giveaway with maybe some coloring supplies. So that is in the works, planning all of that this week. So let's say good morning to everyone before we begin. So we've got Alice here with us this morning. Good morning, Alice. So you're not a fan of the snow either? Me neither. I mean, what the heck? Oman is here with us this morning from Minnesota, and she says we've already had snow. Really? Well, Minnesota is freezing, right? That's like Mary Tyler Moore world. Freezing, freezing, freezing. Alexandria, good morning. Hey, good morning, Pat Christie. Good morning, Mary Ann. Who else is here with us this morning? Lynn Miller's here with us this morning. Good morning, Lynn Miller. Dawn Gianone's joined us. Diana's here with us this morning. Mamie, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Melody. Cindy Lamb is here with us this morning. Who else is here? I saw a bunch of other people. Mary Whitworth. Good morning, my friend. Mary Hannah, how's it going? Chris is here with us this morning. Good morning, everyone. Trish is joining us. So if I have not said hello to you this morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Scotland and Paisley say hey. 2 paws up for them today, I guess, right? So the first thing I want to talk about with all of you today is this new book that just came out yesterday, actually. It feels like it's been longer, but I guess it was yesterday. Right, Scarlett? Scarlett needs to get through. Come here, Scarlett. Come here, sweetie. Come here. Gonna move the dogs around. 48 degrees in Ohio should be coming your way. It's freezing here today. I mean, I hope it's gonna come my way. I don't really know if I'm not ready for it. You know, I don't like the heat. I don't like the cold. What do we like? Hey, how about that? Wasn't there like a train ride you could take to cross the country and you would always be in 70-degree weather? I think I need to do that. Hey, good morning, Darlene. Sarah, good morning, good morning. So my new book, Mushroom Mania. Let's talk about this book before we start coloring this morning. I'm so excited about this book because what I want to tell you about this book is that when I started drawing this book, I decided to push myself to a new level of drawing and draw something a little different than I typically draw. And I hope, I don't know, tell me what you guys think. I hope that this book has done that. A lot of you have ordered it, so thank you so much for doing that. I cannot believe how many people have ordered this book. I've kind of lost count to see the comments that people have said, hey, I ordered the book. So it's available right now on Amazon worldwide. It hit the UK last night. I'm sure it's available in Japan, and I believe it's already available in Germany. And it's also on my website as a PDF. So I wanted to share the pages with you because I had a lot of fun drawing this book, and it's a little more detailed than what I usually draw. And I colored the cover myself, and I actually colored the cover digitally. I'm not going to lie, but I did color it digitally, and then I tweaked it a little bit because every time I do a cover for a book, I have to go back in and tweak it. So here is my cover. I printed it a little smaller to save on ink, you know, because we all want to save on ink. Here is the page that I colored for the cover. Pat says she loves it. Alice says she loves it. So I hope that it reflects a new style of drawing. I've got this one here. Now, what's neat about this book is I'll tell you what's going on here. In all of the pages, there's either some gnomes that are kind of hiding, and a lot of people have been coloring them. Melody colored some pages, Mary Ann and Lynn. Here's another gnome that's hiding. And the book is filled with all of these funky, crazy mushrooms with all of these different patterns. And this one, actually, I'm actually going to be transferring this one to a canvas and working on this for to do as a painting. And you'll be able to see that. I'm actually going to have this available on my website as a pre-drawn canvas that you could purchase. And then you could just color the canvas or paint it if you wanted to. Some of the pages have dragonflies on them with flowers. I've got some mosaics that are going on inside there. Got some tulips hanging around. The other part that's neat about this book is that every dog that I have had, well, not every dog I've ever had because that would be a lot. I've had a lot of dogs in my life. But my dogs are all in this book. So Scotland and Paisley are in this book. So this is Paisley here on this page that I've started coloring already. This is Scarlet right here on this page with her little wagging with a gnome over in the corner. And then this one does not have a dog or a gnome. There's some bird houses that are hanging around in here. This is my dog Georgia that I lost long ago, but there's my dog Georgia hanging out. Here is my dog May that I lost a while back, hanging out in there. So can you tell that my priority right here is the dog? Some different lanterns. Here's another gnome with a little house. Got some lanterns, a butterfly hanging out in this page. More lanterns with some fireflies up there. A lot of bees happen in this book. Here's another one of my dogs, Willie, who I lost long ago. He makes an appearance in this book also, kind of hidden in the forest of the grass. Another one with some gnomes and some bees. Another one with some crazy gnomes and some bees. And here is a page that actually is in the book, which is the collage page. And I know that some people really like these teeny tiny pages. They look like stamps in a way. So these are kind of cool that they're small. Another one with kind of a gnome hanging. What do you think, Mary? So much fun to draw. I actually miss it. Here's my my little dog nephew, Charlie, that hangs out here. My little friend, Charlie, the golden retriever. He's in this book also. So 6 different dogs appear in this book throughout with some gnomes, kind of hidden. So it's kind of a cool thing to go find. So that is Mushroom Mania, available on Amazon. It's $7.99 right now, up until November 10th, and then the price goes up to $11.99. I will tell you, I already in my head am working on another one, a Christmas one in the same style. So I'll be working on that this week. This went fast. I mean, I just kept going with this book. I don't know what happened to me. I just know when my book comes, I am going to color it straight through. Well, let me tell you, whoever finishes it, you finish any of my books really, send me all of the pages and we'll turn it into a video. So I always love doing that and love seeing everybody's finished masterpieces. So we're moving on to, is this the 4th page we've done from this book? Let me see. 1, 2, no, maybe this is the 3rd. Maybe we're on our 3rd. We're on the 3rd. I've lost count. Mary says, I intend to own that book. Awesome. Absolutely love this book, Mamie saying. Thank you so much, you guys. This is just really incredible that how many people have responded to this book. And what's really incredible is that I really kind of, my goal was to draw something completely new. And completely, or not completely new, but a little bit different, a little more detailed, a little busier. So that there's way more to color. And I had to include the doggies, Marianne, had to include the babies. So I've got this piece of cardboard that I'm going to use first for this page. And what we're going to do is I'm going to make this little tape texture thing to put like a rubbing stamp type thing. And I'm going to pop it behind, and then I'm going to use colored pencils. This is actually... when you buy an aluminum pan, I bought this at the dollar store actually, an aluminum pan, it was just a rectangle, it came 3 in a pack, and then you pop this on the top as its cover. That's what this is. I love using these as a palette. Hey, Beth Turner. So what I'm going to do is kind of rip some tape and just tape it down on here. You could do it on any surface. You could do it on a piece of paper. And then you could use this over and over. The more wrinkled this is, the better. The more lines that you have that intersect, the better. So what ends up happening is where the tape is intersecting, the edge of the tape is kind of layering on top of each other. When we color over this with colored pencil underneath this page, it will create a texture, right? PDF, yes. The PDF is available also, Miss Diana. The PDF is available. It's in PDF. It's in hard copy. I miss drawing it. You know? So that's really kind of fun when I draw a book that when I'm done with it, it's kind of like, I'm a little sad because it's over. And then when it gets to the point with, I like to color, but I like to draw more than I like to color. So the most I color is during a color along. But I draw a lot, so I'll keep drawing. Just give me some sketchbooks. And I have a new sketchbook. If you're looking for a really, really nice sketchbook that is not artist quality, like we have a drawing class coming up on November 23rd. Beginner drawing class is happening. And I have some sketchbooks and some sketch sets that you can purchase on my website that are more better quality paper for different types of charcoal and pastels. And if you're looking for a sketchbook that is completely smooth paper that's similar to copy paper, and it's a little, it's not completely white, it's a little off-white, Dollar General, $3. That's what I drew that book on. So I'm going to be stocking up on those sketchbooks and making sure I have them on hand because, sometimes I think it has to do with, I don't like how this one looks. Sometimes I think it has to do with what you are using. It will make it, it's kind of like driving a fancy car, right? I guess. I don't know. Does anyone feel like that? When you're driving when I'm driving down the road in my convertible Mercedes, the wind in my hair, you know how that happens, right? You guys know. Kim Blair, good morning, Kim Blair. How are you, my friend? So can you believe November 4th already? I can't. November 4th. All right, so you can see this. We've got this tape here. Now we're just going to pop it under different areas of this page, and when we color on top of it, it will create a texture. So I'm going to actually start in the middle. I'm going to put it right in the middle, and we're going to jump in and just begin. You're going to use aluminum foil. Trisha's using aluminum foil. Awesome. You can use aluminum foil. You could use crumpled paper. You could use anything you could use a plastic spatula, that has the lines in it. You could use any type of thing. These pencils, these Prismacolor pencils have a really nice soft lead. And you can use them dry or you can use them wet. We're only using them dry today. So now I'm coloring this area here, and you can see where the lines of the tape are creating some lines on this page. You can go back over, you can add some different colors where those lines are to kind of accentuate it. We're going to do that in a couple of different areas. The other thing that you can do is you can pop different colors on top of it. There's a tutorial in my first coloring handbook that is all about using tape as a texture. So if you do have that book, you can check that out. There's a tutorial about how to do that. It really goes into detail about how to use this as an effect. I'm just going to keep moving that around behind it. But nice soft lead in these pencils. It's a set of 24. Burlap, too. Thank you, Alice. Burlap, definitely. You can definitely use burlap. Cardboard is a good one. Because cardboard, believe it or not, that, of course, if it's a corrugated cardboard, right, Judy? It will have a different type of texture. So it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Now, I could go back into this, which I think I will, when I'm done coloring all of these, every others, making a pattern. But such a simple way of creating that texture that's behind that. And then you can just kind of keep reusing this little piece of what you've used behind, especially if you make one out of tape. You could use aluminum tape. Is there such a thing? Duct tape, I meant to say. Scotch tape. You could use Scotch tape. I was going to say washi tape, but that's like duct, right? Duct tape. I think that's similar. And now I'm just going to kind of move this over a little bit because I want it to be under this one. This always reminds me of Cat in the Hat, this particular pattern. This page that I'm coloring today is from my book, Frenzy, Coloring Book for All. And Frenzy is a really great book to do this type of technique with, and to add your own doodles and your own little effects to it. Who else is here with us this morning? Good morning, Sharon. Beth is here with us this morning. I say good morning, but good morning times two. You know, I have to tell you, Beth's daughter, October, really helped inspire me to create this book. And I'm going to show you something else, too, which is really cool. I don't know if she's watching, actually. She's probably not. I have a friend that has a farm, and she sent me this picture of her garden wizard sitting in her garden. That was like a little, I have to actually send her a copy of the book so that she can see this. But this was kind of my inspiration. It was kind of my muse throughout the whole drawing of this book, because it really kind of reminded me, for Mushroom Mania anyway, it kind of reminded me of the little gnomes that I kind of included there. So that was kind of fun. Funky little thing. All right, so let's make sure that I have enough texture underneath here for this last one. And you can use a heavy pressure or you could use a light pressure, because what you're trying to achieve is to pick up all those little things that are, all those little lines. Now I'm going to actually take this pink color, which is called Blush Pink, which I wish there was a darker one, but I don't think that there is. What is this one? Oh, that's terracotta. I don't want that. Or I'm going to take some yellow. Let's take some yellow first, this is called Spanish Orange, actually, which is weird. And I'm going to go back in where the kind of the white lines are in here, just to kind of accentuate what's there. But I'm leaving the template. I'm leaving my rubbing template. Is that what they call rubbing template? Underneath it. So that I can still get a little bit more of that, you know, a little bit more of that texture. We want to say texture, but it's the texture. It's kind of like my movement I want to start, that we don't have to change the clocks ever. How can we do that? This is crazy, this clock change thing. 4:15, I'm letting dogs out. Like, what the heck? They don't know. And I think they're tired right now from it. Hey, Sharon. Sharon said, good morning. I'm late today with preparing all my items for stew that I'm making for later today. It's in the crock pot and starting to cook. Ooh, sounds delicious. What are you adding to it? Give us the recipe. Do share. Sounds delicious. I made chicken soup the other day. That was delicious. Haven't even eaten it yet, but I tasted it. And, of course, Scarlett and Paisley tasted it because they were slaving all day with chicken soup. Chicken soup can take a long time, don't you think? I think that was Saturday I cooked that. What kind of stew are you making? Are you using veal? Are you using beef? I know. What time should we be there, Sharon? Sharon's going to bring me a bowl, I think. No, I'm only kidding. You don't have to do that. That would be terrible. I was thinking of making a roast this week, actually. Pot roast, like a chuck roast. I think I might do that. Haven't made that in a long time. The weather is definitely stew weather. Don't you think, Sharon? It's definitely cold enough to have stew. Okay. Now I'm going to go with my pink color for my every others. So I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but what I'm thinking is that, see how I did that with a yellow? I could do this, on top of the pink, I could do it with red. And this pink to me is a little orangey. I don't know if you can tell how orangey it might be. Okay, we'll be there at 6. Should I bring bread, Sharon? 6 o'clock. It is a process to cut up everything, isn't it? Oh, stuffed pepper soup. I never had that before, Judy. What was in that? Spanish orange is one of my favorites. Oh, for that, do you have these pencils, Mary? Hey, Alexandria, I didn't think I saw you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. it is consuming to cut up all of the vegetables, isn't it? Stew, whether lentils. Oh, I haven't made lentils in a long time. Escarole and beans. Oh, see? Sharon and I cook the same stuff. Escarole and beans. I haven't made that in a very long time. Or the other one that Sharon is talking about is, we'll have to say it in the right way, right? Sharon, pasta fazool. I don't usually make that. And I haven't made lentils in a long time either. I was making it for a while, and then I would freeze them. But yeah, it's definitely a lentil soup kind of weather. I'm trying to cut back on the carbs, though, so that's why I haven't really made lentils lately. Oh, chili sounds good too, Mamie. Lately, I've been making eating a lot of burgers. I don't know what it is. I go on kicks of eating food. Does anybody else do that? You go on kicks? Food again. I know, Alice, right? I am making pizza today, though. That is one thing I'm going to make. We always talk about food. Does anybody else go on kicks of just eating the same thing like over and over, or like you're just like stuck on certain food? I do that all the time. It's like I'm stuck on certain things like burgers, or I don't know. Cream of celery soup was the first time ever. Oh, that sounds delicious, Pat. I don't think I've ever made that. Here is red, crimson red. These pencils are really, really nice, aren't they, Mary? A lot of people don't have these. They're kind of hard to find. They were actually sent to me by a friend who wasn't using them. She was cleaning out a closet, and she's like, you color way more than I do, so you take them. But these are really cool, and you can use them either wet or dry. But I like using them dry more than I like using them wet. The pigment is really nice. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell maybe on this page that I'm doing as far as how rich the pigment is, but it really is very, very rich. So I'm just going back in like I did with the yellow, just to kind of accentuate all of those red, all of those like creases in the actual where that texture has been created. Ooh, kind of had like a brain freeze for a minute there. Do you do that kick with food, Mammy? I do it too. Yeah, see, Mary does it too. Trish does it. Yep. You know, you can't really help it. Hey, did you guys all see that? Someone sent me a message about it right now, actually. Did you see that thing I posted about that snowflake that you make with coat hangers? Did anyone else see that? I didn't make it. I just reposted it from somebody. I reshared it from somebody. I was thinking of making it, but sometimes I'm not very good when it comes to the crafty type things. Come on, Mary. Mary got these pencils the same way. Well, let me tell you, the people that gave these pencils away to us did not know what they're missing, right? Because they're one of my favorites. Of all the Prismacolor pencils, these are my favorites. And I kind of forgot about them after a while. Okay, so now let's move on let's go with blue. This one is called Copenhagen. The names, too, are just incredible. And I'm going to pop this just kind of move this around a little bit. I need to pivot. There's that word again. Are you going to make it, Sharon? I was thinking of making it, but I'm not sure. I have zip ties. I just need to buy hangers. I think they might look cool if they were hanging from like the ceiling of a front porch. You know? All right, so there's my blue, and I'm going to move this up up a step, and do blue here also after I pivoted my page. Beth, I'm using Prismacolor watercolor pencils, and they're kind of hard to find. It's a 24-pack, and let me tell you, these pencils are they meant for watercolor, but I love using them dry because you can use any watercolor pencil without water. You don't have to use water with your colored pencils at all. It's just that some of them work better some of them take the water, but not all. So it's the opposite with regular colored pencils. Okay, Now, we've got that blue that I just laid down. Now, let's go back in with the yellow with this blue. And you'll be able to kind of see where that yellow is popping out. It's almost like it's kind of popping out from underneath. So it's lit up. The configuration was intriguing but confusing. It would seem that there were more than a couple of layers. On the hanger thing, I think that the hanger thing is easier than it appears, because it looks like there was like one layer of those hangers and then they put it on top of another layer. But if you really kind of, if you really look at it, it can be a little confusing. I thought about doing one during a live video, but I don't know if I even know how to do it. So here's, again, with this yellow here. Would be cool if it had lights around it. Yeah, my brain and fingers were out of sync too, Sharon. Let me tell you. My brain was starting to hurt. Did you ever get that hurt in your head? It's like you're getting like a cramp in your head. It's like, oh my God, I don't know if I can figure this out. It's like throw in the towel. I don't know. Maybe I should try it. We could try it together if you're interested. That should be interesting. I'm already laughing, all right? I'm already laughing if we did that together. That would be crazy. Okay. No, we really could, though, but I'm already starting to laugh. All right, so this one is, there's that carmine red color. Maybe I should have used that with the pink instead. But I'm going to go with, I feel like I need to go back with maybe a darker purple. What is this? Dark umber. Surprising that that's dark umber. And we got to go with orange, right? Just regular orange. My friend orange. Is it snowing outside right now, Amana? Is there snow on the ground, though? All right, so here is this orange color. And I guess I'm going to do every one of these sections a different color, because somebody who did this book just did not do like an every other type thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of 6. We should do it, Sharon. I think it would be fun. That's a lot of hang. I don't know, Lynn. What would Joan Crawford say? Lynn's right. It's plastic hangers, though. But that certainly would make her head spin, wouldn't it? Do you ever want to do something to somebody that you know would make their head spin? And just kind of like, you know. Is that like an evil part of me? I'm really not that evil. All right, let's put this light purple color. Looks pretty, doesn't it? I think I like the length of the pencil more than anything. All right, now let's put another color here that is, let's go with yellow on this side right here. And then I'm going to go back in the same thing I did to these with another color on top of it. Of course, we've got to save something for that heart that is going to be kind of screaming red. I already used carmine here, so I'll use this dark red, which is called crimson red. The only problem with when I want to make those like that snowflake is I get this thing in my head where I've got to go like into mass production. Does anybody else get that way? It's like I don't just want to make one. I want to make like 100 of them. Or I want to make another one. I need a tutorial on how to pick colors that complement each other. You need to take a look at the color palette book I have. Did you see those, Sharon? They're actually available. I have 3 of them. And they're all available as Kindles. Also, not only book, but Kindle. All right. I'm going to go back in now with my yellow. And I'm going to pop some yellow into the green area. But you know what I always say about picking colors? This is the thing. There's all these rules out there about color theory, right? All these things about, well, primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. Okay. Then from the primary colors, you can make any color. So if you may lay, oh, Pat, that's too confusing to me. You can lay out, now I'm thinking of the stupid snowflake. You can mix red and yellow and make orange, or you can mix yellow and blue and make green. And what you make from those primary colors become your secondary colors. So you can go on and think about all of this: primary color, secondary color, complementary color, which are usually the opposites, meaning what would look nice with one another. So usually the opposite, when you take a look at a color wheel, I'm going to take the color wheel out actually, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. When you take a look at that color wheel, you'll actually see that, I'm going to see if I can grab these books too. You can actually see where there's the opposite of everything. So when you take a look at, for instance, this color wheel, right here, you can say, okay, here are my primary colors, 1, 2, 3. Here are my secondary colors, okay? So when you take a look at the actual color wheel, what would look nice to each other is usually what the opposite is. So the opposite of yellow is purple. You just completely draw a line from across. The opposite of red is green, completely across. And that's what would look good with one another. However, all of this theory, right? Got all that whole color theory and all that like technical mumbo jumbo, and then I have these color palette books where I have these paintings that are in this book. These are my own paintings, and then there are colors that would go well together based on the paintings. Okay, so there's 2 of these actually. There's this one, and then there's this one here, which has more paintings also in it. These have some actual coloring pages also that have kind of families of colors that have been pulled from that. Or there's this color inspiration reference book, which is actually photographs that I took. So I went in, I took some photographs of different things around town in my travels, walking around. It made me walk. That's what it made me do. That's for sure. And I basically said, okay, like for instance, this one right here. Took this picture right here, right actually outside my back door. And then these are the colors that I pulled from it. Now, what I want to say about all of this, right? Got all these books in front of me, all this information. What I want to say is that when you get dressed in the morning, are you walking outside like you're 3 with cowboy boots, plaid pants, and a flowered shirt? Probably not. So you already know what looks good together. Does that make sense? So what I want to say about this whole color theory thing and about, thank you, Melody, about what looks good together and how do I know what's going to look good together, you probably already know. But you think that you may not know because somebody along the line has told you that you don't really know enough about that. So therefore you should have a book or you should learn more about it. But really, we already know. I'm sure that your house is not unless your house is like painted with like red walls with, sometimes you see those houses that are like complete eyesores. You walk into the living room and you've got like, I don't know, plaid wallpaper with flowered furniture. And I'm sure that people know what goes with what. I don't really think think about maybe people's houses that you've gone to and you may have said, oh my God, this is like hideous. Or maybe you've worn something and you've been like, someone's walked in and they've said, it's like, what are you wearing? So unless you are walking around like that 3-year-old that got themselves dressed because mom was too busy and they are wearing cowboy boots, a fuzzy sweater, and plaid pants on an August hot and humid day, right? Alice has a very good point. Thank you, Alice. You might be wearing that if you were people of Walmart. Exactly. So, I only wear black pants, Linda's saying, so everything matches. So do I. I only ever wear black pants, and it's funny because I was actually thinking about that the other day, that I only wear black pants. And do people wonder that? But you know what? How many different color pants are there? I mean, you could be like Howard Wolowitz from The Big Bang Theory. You could wear red pants, right? So I just think that we already know what looks good together. We already know that this is what I should wear with this, and this matches this. And you're really not walking around like, you know, the fashion police need to be walking behind you type thing. Omana says, I don't know, Ian. I'm from the South. That's how a lot of people dress. In the country up here, too. You mean with the fuzzy sweater and the cowboy boots on a hot day? Well, you know, people of Walmart. Actually, the other day, we should do people of the Dollar Tree, because the other day I was at Dollar Tree, and this woman was walking out. I was walking out, and she was walking in, and she wasn't wearing any pants. Honestly, she was not wearing any pants. She had on just a T-shirt and no pants. And I thought to myself at first, wow, look at her pants. They're really close to the color of skin. And then, upon further inspection, when I looked back, she was wearing no pants. I mean, okay, enough of that. Enough of that craziness. I just said, it's Dollar Tree. It was Saturday. It was November 2nd. We all know what happens when we go into the supermarket on like the 1st of the month. We're not going to lie, right? And it was crazy. Melody, it was, honestly, I wish I had just like, I mean, I didn't really want to take a picture of her. But, yeah, no pants. No pants. It was like, it was hysterical, actually. Okay. Let me catch my breath a little bit. They do have a coloring book with people at Walmart. You're right, Sarah. I think there should be a coloring book with people on Facebook, because we all know there are some wacky stories out there, right? Of course, we're not any of them. But you know there's some wacky stories going on Facebook with some wacky people. Oh, it was crazy. Anyway. Nuts. It was very nuts. The Dollar Tree always cracks me up anyway, the people that are there. Plus, that Dollar Tree that I was in does not put the heat on in the wintertime. So you're walking through it and you're like having like trouble breathing from the ice cold air that's in there. It was honestly about 20 to 25 degrees warmer outside than it was inside that store. So bundle up when you go to Dollar Tree. I guess for $1, there's no heat, right? I didn't really feel it in the summertime without air conditioning, but I really just think there's no heat. Maybe she was going to Walmart next to go buy pants, right? There could be. I don't know. Hey, good morning, Dawn. It was funny. Diane is saying, but the palette books have a lot of your original art. My favorite part. Well, that's a very good point, Diana. That if you weren't going to buy the palette book for the palettes, right, you were at least buying them for, this is like a book of all of my paintings. So, different drawings, different paintings that are in here, some that we've done together. This one, actually, I was looking at that the other day. So they're really kind of cool to kind of see it in print. It's, you know, it's expensive to print a book in full color like that. So those are $15.99 in full color, but the Kindle version of the ones with the paintings are, I think they're either $4.99 or $5.99 on Amazon. And then you'll just have them on your Kindle book, on your, like, iPad. And then this is ultramarine. The other one with the photographs is $8.99 in Kindle. I'm going to catch up with these comments. Lynn is saying, Dollar Tree people are funny. I encountered an older couple. The man said, do we need toilet paper? The woman said, I don't know. The man said, I'll get some just in case. Wow. He is a keeper. Does he have a brother? Sarah's saying, I was at the outlet mall and the wind was blowing. I happened to look around the corner and had to see a woman with her skirt blowing up and she had on no underwear. Oh. Sarah. Oh. Yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it? You know? Crazy. The no pants woman at the Dollar Tree just really killed me. But then again, maybe those were her pajamas, no pants, right? Because look at all the people that walk into stores with pajamas on now. I mean, come on. What is happening that we can't get dressed? I don't know. You gotta wonder sometimes, don't you think? She must have been going to Walmart. I hope she was going to Walmart next, unless she was going to buy pants at the Dollar Tree. Gotta move this over a little bit. Okay, this one's not getting as much texture as I wanted it to, this particular stripe. So let's kind of flip that over there. But see how you could easily just kind of, I'm going to save this and I'm just going to keep using it. And it would definitely work with crayons. It would work with oil pastels. It would work with chalk pastels. I don't know if it would work with markers. Maybe it would work with markers. And then let's do, so for instance, here's an opposite, right? The opposite of blue is orange. So I'm going to put orange next to my blue. Put this, kind of move this around a little bit. So here's my orange next to my blue. So there's my opposite right there. So Sharon, does that kind of answer your question about like how to figure out what looks good with what? You know? Just to kind of, I mean, as long as you're going to continue to wear pants, we're all set, right? People are crazy. They are. They are crazy, Pat. You're right. Melody says, oh, they come in on McDonald's with PJs on. Yeah, completely. Right? All right, so this is that orange. I'm still finishing that up. And then I'm going to go back in again and add some more color like I did with this, with the other sections of this, with adding that color on top of it. Sarah says, at work, I had to see a fat man 3 times who had short shorts. At one point, I got a coworker to look. He said, I didn't want to see that. I did not either, but I saw him more than once. I hope you didn't see too much of it. Oh, thank you. Sharon has pants on. Okay, good. Good to know. Don't be surprised, Mary says, many very comfortable people shop at Dollar Store as well. Wait a minute. Okay, let me comment on that. Normal, comfortable people, regular people also shop at Dollar Tree. I shop at Dollar Tree all the time. But this woman really kind of like was over the edge about the pants. Come on. Right, Mary? You would have laughed too. But then again, maybe she knew the person, the couple that was there wondering if toilet paper was even necessary in their lives. Right? So this is kind of a dark, it's called olive green. Boy, my dogs are like really asleep right now. This time change is just not, they don't like it, I don't think. They're not adjusting well. Plus, they love to be outside when it's cold and dark. Okay, there's my olive green. So all it's really kind of doing is blending on top of this other green. Not really doing too much like the rest of it, but just kind of blending on top. Oh, I forgot this one right here. I don't know. Can you hear me now, Judy? Okay. Now, what I'd like to do is go back into my orange on top of it with this terracotta, but I've got to sharpen it. Let's see if my pencil sharpener can handle it today. I think my pencil sharpener is a little tired today. I don't know. All right, so here's my terracotta. Look at the nice point that you get with them, too. That's the other part that's cool. Love a pencil that gets that nice point. Sometimes you get a pencil that when you sharpen it, it's like always like on the side. You ever notice that? It drives me crazy. That is crazy when that happens. Okay, so I'm just kind of going back over the same textured plate behind there. Rubbing plate, that's what they're called when you put these behind it. They actually sell things like this, but you can make your own. And then I'm going to go back in on top of my blue, too, and add another color. I'm thinking I should add pink. But you can't get enough pink, right? A couple of years ago, people were wearing PJs to their jobs. Why? Where did they work? A sleep factory? Are you serious, Alice? Got it, Dawn. I know I missed it, didn't I? I don't like the time change. I barely had gotten used to the last time change. I know, me too, Sarah. I don't like it either. I want to just ignore it and just live my life based on the old time. But No one seems to think I should do it. I hate the time change, Sharon, saying they should just leave the time alone. You could get adjusted, and you just get adjusted, and you're changing again. I agree with you. The worst part for me is the morning part, because my dogs think that it's time to get up. You know, they don't know. You got to go outside. I can't tell them no. So now Paisley is all about having to go out at, like, I think 4:11 was her time today. It's like, oh my goodness, now we're out here at 4:11. And sometimes she just sits there. She sits down like she's hanging out at 4 a.m. on the desk. I think it's making me a little sick too, Sarah. I agree with you. I feel like I have a sore throat from it. Maybe that'll be like a new disease or a new like illness, time change. It'll be called time change epidemic. You have the time change flu. All right, so I'm going back over this with pink. Yeah, I was like a zombie too, Sharon. Yesterday was crazy. I had a crazy day yesterday anyway. I just cannot even go into it right now because it was just, I'm still trying to process my whole day yesterday. It was like, do you ever have one of those days where you have like a crazy day that is crazy and fun and interesting and wacky at the same time? It was one of those. So it was nuts. I'm still kind of tired from it, actually. All right, so there is my pink on top of that. It's kind of blending a little bit, kind of making it look like a little bit of purple, but just want to kind of go over that with all, like, kind of where all of those lines are. Because I'm doing a light pressure on top of this blue, and because of that, it's really just kind of creating, it's completely creating just a little tiny bit of pink on top of all those lines are. My niece was wearing PJs to her job at a daycare, Alice says, and I said, why? And she used to greet the parents, too. What does the daycare think about her wearing pajamas? All right, nice point on my black. And the reason why I did that was because I just want to kind of, I'm going to go back into all of these and add a kind of a tiny, just a tiny bit of black. It's that little tiny bit of maybe that attention to detail that's going to just kind of make it pop. That maybe you don't see it and maybe the rest of the world won't see it, but I know it's there, you know? I guess it's kind of like maybe that lady, maybe that woman that was wearing no underwear when her skirt blew up, Sarah, maybe she was thinking that the world won't know that I have no underwear, but I will know. And then lo and behold, to her surprise, all right, so there's my black. Just kind of adding, see how it's just kind of making it a little bit of a difference? Can you see the little bit of a difference it's making? I was at a funeral yesterday, Sarah, saying on the first day of the time change, and today I have to go to work. I can't get woken up fully. Yeah, I know. Isn't that awful? Kind of feel like I'm a little asleep today, too. Groggy feeling from it. You know what I say? You're just going to keep eating all day long. If you're hungry, just eat. It'll make you feel better. Back to food, Alice, right? Back to the food. I can't believe that they didn't say anything about the... Maybe they thought they were her regular pants. Right? And they didn't want to insult her sense of fashion. Could have been. But look how about I was watching this video the other day of this woman in court, and she, it was actually, I forgot what town it was, what state it was in, but the judge asked her a question, and she said yeah instead of yes, and he increased her bail. Did anyone see that video that's kind of popping around Facebook all the time? But more importantly, forget what she said. She was wearing the shortest shorts and the skimpiest t-shirt to go to court. What happened to getting dressed up when you had to do things like that? People don't do that anymore? I'm surprised they let her in. Unless that's how she was arrested, maybe? I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. I guess you don't get dressed up if somebody gets arrested. You don't like say, oh wait, let me go home and change my clothes. Lynn, more clocks. I say you have too many. I actually have one more clock I need to go change. Thank you for reminding me. It's a digital clock. I've totally forgot about it this morning. All right, kind of just adding a little bit of this black. Just kind of, I like how it's looking. It's looking kind of like, I don't know, it's giving it a marble look, isn't it? A little bit of marble look. And I'm going to pop this right here so I can kind of get the little bit of the lines going on. Hey, how about that page we colored yesterday from Xenia's book with the cars? That was cool. So that really kind of makes this blue part really kind of jump out, doesn't it? And then here again. So kind of cool. Texture. What happened to proper decorum in dress, word, and deed? No kidding. There is none, Sharon. The way people dress, even when they go to a funeral, is awful. I mean, are t-shirts and sweatpants really considered dressed up? I don't know. Maybe the world just needs to wear a uniform. Some of the stuff they sell, though, too, in different stores for clothes are just like, you gotta wonder. I have to climb up for 2 of them, I think, to move them down safety reasons. Lynn, please be careful. Do you need us to come over and help you? You could leave them, and then you'll always know that those are just not the right time. Would that be too confusing? Alice is saying, I say you see things you wish you didn't, but you may want to poke your eyes out. Oh, no kidding. I agree with that. Yeah, the time change definitely makes it get dark too early. I don't think I like that part of it. That's what I was thinking too, Dawn. She must have gone straight from jail to the judge, and that's what happened. It had to be. But she's still, I don't know. It's just, maybe it's making me feel old. Alice, I still can't get the image of that woman with no pants on at the Dollar Tree. No pants. I mean, okay. Now I have officially seen it all, right? It was just crazy. Thank you, Mary. Mary says she loves this. Thank you. I love it too. All right, so all we did was take this little piece of cardboard, which you can use a piece of paper. And then I just took tape and I just basically put tape down on this. And you can keep changing this. The more layers that you have, the tinier pieces of tape that you have. Maybe you want to have them going in all straight lines or all over the place like I did with this. Or maybe you want to wrinkle it like I just did with this one. So you can really kind of change it up. And then you can just keep using these over and over. So that's what we did with this for this page from Frenzy Coloring Book. So let's see what we've done so far. This is our 3rd color one for this book. And the first one we did was this oil pastel page, which we did with chalk pastels. And this is always a lot of fun to use chalk pastels on any of my pages. This was really fun. And then this one here was all about pointillism. We colored this page last week with all about pointillism, and I added just kind of little doodads. And then this is the texture page. And this page you can look at this page anyway, the way we colored it, or this way, the horizontal version. All right, so next week's color along, which is next Monday, is all about cubism. And this is a really fun page. If you've never done the cubism style coloring page with me, then this is going to be a blast because we do this at Coloring Camp a lot. So we're basically going to color this page. You're going to need another piece of paper also. In addition to this page that we're going to color. We're going to color this, and then we're going to cut it up, and we're going to make it look like the Cubist style. So Cubism is all about geometric shapes, and how things maybe don't look right. So one of the pages that we did for coloring camp was an owl, and we cut it up, and I have some books that we'll look at to go over about what kind of Cubism looks like, and taking a look at Picasso. So that's what we're kind of basing it on. So we're just going to basically color this. Not sure what medium I'm going to use for this one. We'll have to just kind of play it by ear. And then we will cut it up and reassemble it on another page. So what you're going to need for this particular color along is another piece of paper. And you're also going to need, or you can use the blank page that's in the back of your book if you wanted to. And you're also going to need either tape or a glue stick and a pair of scissors. And we're going to color this, cut it up, reassemble it back to something that doesn't really look like what it looked like. So it's a really fun color along to color along with. After that, on November 18th, we're going to be doing this page, which is from Scarlett's View. This is Scarlett's book. This is what she sees when she looks out the window because she's nosy. And this is going to be just a number 2 pencil. So you don't need to have expensive coloring supplies to color. All you need is a pencil if you really can't afford anything else. And we're just going to use a number 2 pencil for this. And then on November, we'll take a look at this whole book. November 25th, we're working on, oh, this is not in the right order. What happened? Oh, I don't know what happened. This is November 25th, Blend and Shade. This should have been in order. This one is December 2nd. This one right here, Crayons and Oil. And then we're moving on to Cats and Kittens, and we're going to be coloring in the style of Piet Mondrian, who is an artist who used a lot of primary colors with a lot of different geometric shapes. Again, mostly used red, yellow, and blue, and white and black. And then we'll be moving on to this mandala from Graceful Mandalas using warm colors. So that'll be fun. And then we're going to tackle this autumn mandala coloring page on December 23rd, you know, after the autumn season has passed and we're thinking about Christmas. We're going to be coloring with gel pens for this one. So that's kind of cool. Then on December 30th, our last color along of the year, 2019, is with oil pastels. And this is from For the Love of Coloring, kind of a nice little mantra, I love myself. And then we'll be moving on to our first color along for 2020 in the monochromatic style on this mandala. And then on January 13th, we are going to color this page, which is from my Comforting Mandalas coloring book and we're going to use bolding. And usually I use markers when I use this one. Then we are going to move on January 20th to Andy Warhol. When we get to the section of the end of January, then coloring camp is going to happen again, winter coloring camp. So there'll be some adjustments to the schedule, but this will be the next one, which is Andy Warhol style, which is all about, he's the soup can guy. You know, he's the Campbell soup can artist who was of many, many different things that were the same object or drawing, and he just had them done a little bit differently. So this is a good page for that. And then on the 27th, we're moving on to this alphabet book, which is just the letter O. And then here we are on the dead of winter on February 3rd, and we're still thinking of pumpkins, right? But this is the pop art style. So this is all about bright colors, vivid colors. We're going to take a look at what pop art is. And then Rolling Stones gather no moss. This phrase will be all about the tie-dye technique. And then this one is from Funky Mandalas. We're going to color in the Impressionism style, which we'll be looking at a couple of different artists for that also. And then here is our snowman, the singing snowman. And we are going to be using this one is the stained glass technique. So using different mediums for this one. Tea stain page, we're going to actually color this page in March with tea or coffee. We're going to paint it first, let it dry, so there'll kind of be homework for this one. And then we'll be moving on to this page in March, still thinking of Christmas, because at this point we'll be kind of like thinking, boy, I'm so glad that Christmas is over, or, oh, I miss Christmas. And we'll be looking at this one for watercolors. And then this one is our last page of this book, and this is our imagination workout page. And what we'll do here is take each one of these boxes and the shapes that are in them, and we'll turn them into a different drawing. Trish is asking, can you add the medium on the monthly calendar for us so we can be ready each day? The only reason why I haven't been doing that is that I will do that, but I ran out of room, to be honest with you. I felt like I just couldn't fit it in. So Cubism is basically a mixed media type thing. And then we've got the 18th, which is just a number 2 pencil, so that's okay. And Blend and Shade is really just colored pencils. So after that, when I start to do the next calendars, Trish, I will definitely add the medium. See if I can squeeze it into the calendar. I just felt like it was too small and you couldn't really see it. unless I maybe put something at the top, try to fit it in somewhere else on the calendar. Maybe it's not going to be on that actual day. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Hey, before we quit today, let's take another look at my Mushroom Mania book, because I'm so excited about this. As I said, I drew this in a completely different style than my other coloring books. I tried to draw something that was a little bit different. So this is Mushroom Mania. Just came out yesterday. 24 pages to color. There's 2 copies of every page. All of my dogs, current dogs and dogs that I used to have made their way into this book in some way. They're kind of hidden within the pages, along with some gnomes and bees and flowers and butterflies that are throughout this entire book. There's dragonflies. There's a lot of different mushrooms going on. Here's one with Paisley sitting under this mushroom. This one I already started. Hey, thanks so much for joining us today, Sharon. Here's one with Scarlet. And hopefully you can check this book out. It's available on Amazon. Paisley knows it's 11 o'clock. Can you tell? Here's my dog Georgia, who's no longer with me. My dog May, who's no longer with me. And it just keeps going. So this book is on Amazon, and it's available on my website also as a PDF. This book is $7.99 until November 10th, and then the price goes up to $11.99. And you know what? The more books that sell, the lower the price will be on Amazon. That's how they usually kind of do those things. The dogs are getting antsy. They're saying, hey, it's time for us to go. Right, Scarlet and Paisley? I know, Paisley. Okay, my friends. Hey, have a great day, everyone. Thanks for joining me. See you soon.